Alright, let's get back to the internet. Um, Someone had asked me how good Verizon is. I was like, if you live in town, go with an AT&T hotspot and just simply jack into the hotspot if you could, and not broadcast through the hotspot. Because it seems like people just want to use internet grabber to connect to any internet they want to connect to. This is interesting. Because technically, if you have a computer, you're not really allowed to access the internet. Because the only thing you really have is a browser. And the rest of the programs are pretty much the residential person who bought the computers locked out of them, as far as updates, all that stuff. And you have one main user, and then you have like a ton of other texts and stuff. The one thing that's interesting is looking at while the technician had the box open, took a look at it, and it's all out of date. There's a 2-post on one side, and you have all these posts on the one side, and they're all red and black and whatnot. And the one that was kind of funny on the south side was when the tech had it open, because he asked me to walk around with him for some reason. Outside, he had it open. He had a green wire on a black wire, and he was like, "Oh, that's ground." I was like, "Ground's normally on the other side." So the ground wire is always on the provider side or the telephone company side because of one thing. So there's 3 posts on the telephone side, which is interesting, that they utilize, and mainly it's just ground wire, power wire, continuity wire, and then you get into the Ethernet jack relay into the cell phone system. And down underneath there's supposed to be a panel that has a screw, 2 screws, that's supposed to cover up a set of settings that are wire configuration. And even the telephone company, no matter if it's Verizon, AT&T, Bell, Atlantic, or any of these guys, they're not allowed to access that. And mainly it's how it's wired from the actual where it comes from over in Europe. They wire up that box up to a certain amount of length, and normally you'll see a telephone company come out and they'll measure how much wire they need, because they won't supplement for another box. There's no credit on these boxes, so you either get it right the first time or you don't get it right the first time. Anyway, they wire up the boxes, they seal the boxes up on the bottom, and it gets shipped over to for like Verizon or AT&T or Bell Atlantic, which Bell Atlantic is been closed since 1989. They're where they broke away from Europe, and Europe came in and totally cleared out their warehouses, went through not ripped, but uninstalled service on the side of a house on telephone. Took back their equipment and told Bell and the people that actually own the utility, told Bell Atlantic to the people that were running are supposed to be doing the work for that particular company that was supplying the equipment, told them, piss off, you're done. You guys screwed up one too many times. And they did that all up and down the East Coast, all the 50 different territories. At that time, there was only 48. And now they got a problem. Because to this day, and this is the funny part, to this day they cannot figure out how to make an Ethernet connection into a telephone box. They don't know how to do that. If you do not know how to make an Ethernet wire into a telephone box, then you're an idiot. Because Telnet's dumping Verizon. They're dumping a few other services. If Bell Atlantic and Avis tries to come back and service the air, they're going to dump them. And I'm pretty sure they're probably saying Avis Telephone Company. That's the other cover-up they tried. Just not pay their bill and run off. And if they want to know where it's at, take the second road into Avis, make a right, and you'll see it right on the right. That's where that is. That's the one that helped Northern Central. That's why I also got Northern Central shut down. Because they were tapping into, Bell Atlantic was tapping into the telephone box at the substation server and pulling off bank account numbers. And I think over 500 people got arrested in Pennsylvania for that. They still haven't got the one though. Jeez. But that's why internet around here sucks. That's why if you put a mobile hotspot up in South Williamsport, you'll notice people just literally try to take over your mobile hotspot. I had Comcast over in the South Side on a free 4 months, and then you pay for the rest of the months at a certain rate, and it was 156 megabytes. And they could not keep that up and running. I could have sworn the neighbor below me was tapping into the line, because the line runs over into the neighbor's house. So I had enough of that and got rid of Comcast, because Comcast couldn't keep their internet up and running. At least not at that particular location. Verizon, same thing. Verizon's service is out in New Jersey as far as the support. They're getting away from Scranton, apparently. Makes you wonder if Pennsylvania's worth a damn. But at the same time, the Canadian provider came in 1930, 1940. But Canada's been servicing the East Coast for a long time. When they cut Canada off in 1985, and they came in and got their equipment, and literally, I mean, Canada was going to rip down the phone lines. That's the big one that you get your TV cable on. That's their line. That's not Pennsylvania's line. So they have to pay a royalty, not a royalty, but they got to pay a service fee to use that line. So if you look out in the telephone pole and you see the bottom big fat thick line, that's being leased to the United States. Canada has the right to override access to anyone. Anyway, I'm going to make another video.